suspect in this case was at another apartment, possibly holding another female hostage. We responded to that location. He exited the apartment complex, which was the Point apartment complex behind Florida Hospital. One of our deputies, Grinaldi, picked the vehicle up at around Gillette and Fowler Avenue. He stayed behind the vehicle. At some point in time, the vehicle realized that law enforcement was behind him. By that time, Sheriff's Office, Tampa police cars were in behind him. They made an attempt to stop him about a mile north of here around Harney Road as he had came down Temple Terrace Highway and Harney Road towards 301. He started firing shots back about a mile north of here. He was firing through his rear windshield and some out the driver's door. They were evaluating where to try to stop him, and there was conversation about that on the radio about where to take him down.
Every single deputy and officer was on the same radio frequency, and it was a deputy and an officer in pursuit of this vehicle. But in an instance like this, basically all bets are off. He's driving somewhere between 80 and 100 miles an hour, shooting out of the car at the pursuing law enforcement, and they understood that they had to end that right there. As you can see from the video, they did try to pit that car twice. They tried to hit a vehicle in the rear quarter panel and thus enabling that vehicle from going any further. Clearly they didn't want it to get up onto the interstate.
He lost control and he spun across the road and continued to fire on the officers. At that time there was Tampa police officers and sheriff's deputies, also two officers from that are police officers, but on the U.S. Marshals Task Force that were there, and there was a large amount of gunfire that was exchanged between the suspect and the law enforcement officers that were on the scene. The law enforcement officers had a ballistic shield that they had up in their car, and at that time the suspect continued to fire. We were firing on him. He started firing through the windshield of the law enforcement vehicle. They had very smartly put up a ballistic shield in the windshield, which was deflecting some of the rounds that were going into the car. One of the officers involved, one of the deputies involved, is the district commander for this area himself. The major that's in charge of this district is one of the officers, or one of the deputy sheriffs who fired. So he was here and he was calling a lot of those shots. We have at least probably 7 officers altogether between the police department and the sheriff's office that fired. We could not allow it to go any further. I mean, especially the nature of his activities. He was on a tear, and it was clear to everybody, by this morning that this guy, that's what he wanted to do. He wanted very badly to hurt someone, and so he wasn't going to go any further than this.